That's fantastic. So you're saying that confidence in yourself, positive thinking, and just seeing it as a success, like failure is not an option.
Right.
The real keys for you getting to this point.
Right. I recently, started reading this book. It was called The Secret, and my wife's read it all, I believe, but I think I've gotten through the first chapter, and everybody says I'm always abusing the power of The Secret because I just think positive thoughts all the time, we'll be watching a football game or a race on TV or something, and I'll just say something like, well, I just envisioned my favorite team winning or something, and they're like, you're abusing the power of The Secret. That's not fair. But it's very, very important to always be positive about what you're trying to accomplish. If you're a teensy-weensy bit negative about it, I think the negative takes over the positive a lot faster than the positive takes over the negative, So be positive, keep a positive network around you, and that would make this happen.
Fantastic. So I know you didn't know this before the interview started, Daniel, but this show, actually, that you're going to air on, the name of this, our first show, is The Secret Behind the Secret.
Oh, wow.
And it's all about talking about the secret and manifesting your reality.
Wow.
So you actually manifested more positive things about the book that you're reading, The Secret, and that this is just confirmation, I think, for both of us, that thought of putting what you intend out to the universe really comes back to you.
Exactly. When I started reading it, I was just like, it started defining me, because I read the book after I opened this place, and I was like, if I look back, that's how I thought anyway, even before I started reading the book. But it just reinforced the fact that you have to be positive in everything you do, and the more positive thoughts you put out there, the more positive results you're going to get out of it.
Exactly. That's exactly why Mitch and I thought of you whenever we knew we wanted somebody for this particular show. Because I've seen you through the years, since I've known you for a few years, really living and embodying the secret, even though you didn't know that there was this whole book and movie and all of those things going on. It's just your nature. So that tells me that anybody out there can do this. It's just step by step. Would you agree to that?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I am no different than any ordinary person. I mean, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't really have anything going to college. I had a car and a lot of debt coming out of college. And, I did some really hard work for a Fortune 500 company for a while. And then that kind of served as my platform to get to this stage. And it just positive thoughts the whole time. Even while I worked for a Fortune 500 company, I was always thinking, boy, how could I get better results out of this or that? Or how do you always look at the optimistic piece of it? I'm ever the optimist, and sometimes I am a realist, but I never ever think of myself as a pessimist.
Exactly. Fantastic. So, one more question: when you were thinking about really opening up Albuquerque indoor karting and like, are we going to do this? Can we do this? And you got the wheels in motion. I'm going to say how I would have thought about it, and you let me know if you did the same or something different. I would probably lay in bed every night and see the kart and smell the tires and imagine what it'd be like for people coming in and their first time karting and their excitement, and really get into the feeling of what it'd be like to own my own place. Did you do any of that?
Absolutely. I'd been to many kart tracks, so once we locked our real estate in on this business, in this building here, I walked in this place and it was a mess. Nobody had inhabited this building for 15 years at least that I know of, and probably even more. And so you could see the sky from inside of a building, which is pretty sad. But when I walked in this place, I saw a track. Mm-hmm. I literally saw a track.
So you
and I saw go-karts going around, and I saw lights here, lights there. Uh-huh. I envisioned banners across the columns the way we have now, or the trusses the way we have now. And I just saw the whole thing. I saw an arcade in that room over there, and it just made it to something was more attainable once I had seen.
It's more about not seeing things as they are, but seeing them as you wish them to be.
Exactly, yeah.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, Daniel. You are just the epitome of the, everyday person who visualizes what they want, gets into the feeling of it, can see it, breathe it, sleep it, drink it, and everything they do, and then they realize their dream.
Yeah. That's the way it happened, and I wouldn't have changed anything in it. There was, I'm not going to lie, there was stressful days, there was very relaxed days, but now I feel so at home in this place. I mean, I walk in the doors and I wonder, why wasn't I here before? I wish I could have been here doing this 10 years ago and have this business be a little bit more mature than it is. But, it's getting there, and it's exciting every day, and it's something I created, which really makes it worthwhile,
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Daniel. I really appreciate your time today and coming down and seeing your fabulous track.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool.
I just love Daniel.
Yeah, that was really great. That was really good. Yeah, and one thing he talked about was how he just kept envisioning it, and how his, he just kept seeing it as he was wanting it to be. And I know, one of the things we teach, in hypnotherapy is that your subconscious mind really can't distinguish what the difference between what's real and imagined. And the good thing about that, again, we talked a little bit about The Secret and how it's all about stuff. But the really powerful thing is that it can also control all your physical experiences in your body as well. I know they talk during The Secret, they talk about how they took Olympic athletes and they hooked them up to really sophisticated biofeedback equipment. And they had them run the whole event, whatever their event was that they were doing in the Olympics, they had them run that in their mind. And the same muscles fired in the same sequence when they ran the race in their mind as if they were running it like on a track. Pretty amazing, isn't it? So we can change anything in our body.
That's right, Mitch, because every thought that we have, every impression that we make in our mind, that's a thought, it's an impression in our mind, has an expression through our body, through our anything that's running the body comes out as an emotion or as an internal experience. When I say expression, it doesn't mean that it's actually something necessarily that someone else could observe, but every impression that we put on our subconscious mind has an expression somehow. So if you have thoughts of healthy, strong body repairing itself, then that's what the experience tends to be. When you have thoughts about being weak or powerless, that's what the experience tends to be. I think about my Pilates class. I go to Shedden Pilates because I just love that movement, and Mariana Shedden there is just a great Pilates instructor. And sometimes when I'm taking a group class, I can hear people saying things like, "Oh, I'm so weak today," or "Oh, I'm so tired today." And as soon as I hear that, I feel it in my body because I take that in and I think, "Oh no," and then I say, "Cancel, cancel," and I just repeat over and over, "I am strong, I'm strong, I'm energized, I'm strong, I can do this," to talk to myself through working through it. It has such a huge impact on my body, and I visualize that. So definitely use those types of things in just everyday circumstances.
Yeah, I know. It's actually my favorite. My favorite part of hypnotherapy is clinical hypnosis, and I love working. I worked with hospice for 6 years, so it's really fun to step into working with people, terminally ill people, and people who have physical experiences in their body, and watching them change their experience in their body so that they can live longer, healthy, and happy lives. It's, oh my God, it's just such a gift. It's why I do this and why I keep doing it and keep doing it. So how are we doing in time here? We're
We're about to wrap up, but I just want to comment. It's exactly what Reverend Beckwith said about healthy body as well. And we would really like to hear your stories about how you've manifested anything in your life, right? Relationships, healthy bodies, stuff like I told the story about the car, whatever it is. And you can do that by going to our website, itsyourmindthatmatters.com, and getting our email address from there, and just send us an email and let us know your story. We'd love to come out and interview you. We'd love to have a chat about how you used the law of attraction, positive thinking, and right mind to do that.
Excellent. And if you're a little bit shy, we'll just read your story over the airwaves, but we'd love to do an interview with you and have you on the show live as well. So please, It's Your Mind That Matters. Info at itsyourmindthatmatters.com. Email us.